Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I have for you a die set. This is the showcase and this is called the Vintage Voyage van die set. Unfortunately my die set has obviously been used and things are falling off here, there and everywhere. So let me just quickly put these pieces on and then I can show you this die set. Bear with, I'm so sorry. There we go, that's better. So this is the Vintage Voyage die set, van die set should I say, and it basically creates a caravan. And there are 3 different themes. So you can have a Halloween theme, you can have a spring summer theme, and you can also have a Christmas theme. So you've got these tiny little candy canes, you've got a ghost, you've got the skull and bones, and you've got a bat, you've got a pumpkin, you've got a flamingo in this, you've got a plant pot, you've got snowflakes, not snowflakes, snowflake, and you've even got a wreath to hang on your door with a tiny little bow. You've got the outside lamps, and then you've got your windows as well as your curtains that you can cut out. You've got some bunting, you've got all different sentiments, you've got lots and lots of foliage. So there is a lot going on, and you've also got an awning here as well. And before I forget, you also have a window flower box, which I have cut out, and a spider web. And I'm pretty sure there's a spider here somewhere as well. There it is. It's just hiding. It's just there. So there is so much going on in this die set. And oh, let's not forget the gingerbread man too. So there is so much going on. I have created 3. They were the samples for Tonic. I've also done the video for Tonic Studios as well, but this is a video I'm doing for my channel because it's using pattern paper, my kind of thing. So it's going to have a bit of a twist as to like my shabby kind of shabby chic kind of look to it. So I'm going to put the die set away and just go through what you need for your basic construction, and the rest is basically you know, adding decoration and things like that. So for the main construction, let me just move these bits out of the way. So for the main construction you need 2 of these pieces, and these are the panels that you can add. And you also need 1 of these pieces, and this one has tabs on all sides. You then need 1 of these pieces, which will form the roof of your caravan. But because it doesn't have a panel for the decoration, I've basically cut 1 of these out, and I've just trimmed with my caterpillar trimmer. I've just trimmed off all these tabs on either side and just kept the middle section here, because I didn't want it to be a plain top. I wanted it to have a bit of pattern paper on it. I also have in the instructions it says you need 1 of these, 1 of each, sorry. But what I've done is, because I'm using patterned paper, I've cut it out again in patterned paper, and I believe this is the paper pad that I always use. It's Crafter's Companion Garden of Love, I believe it is. But I'll find the name for it and I'll put it into the description box. It's not one that is available, but you may be able to find it on eBay or something like that. So you need obviously 1 of each, but if you're using pattern paper, then you're going to have 2 of these. And to be quite honest, when I go to cover the tabs, I can then use the pattern paper to cover up my workings. So with that, then you also need, let's just move these out of the way. You also need the wheel arch, and again with the wheel arch I've doubled them up so that they're a bit sturdy. So I've used, you need 2 wheel arches, so if you want to use 4 pieces in total and then just basically double them up, so you need those. You also need to cut out this die here, which will be the stub at the front to keep your caravan balanced, if you like, because we're going to have wheels, whether you want to call it your front or your back. We're going to have wheels basically, so you're going to have wheels on either side and then the stub at the front or back. So you need one of those, and then with the wheels what I've done is I've cut the wheel out 3 times. Twice, I say 3 times, so it's actually the black circle here, I've cut that out 4 times, and the gold part here, I've cut that wheel out twice, so I get the gold in the middle, and I've basically backed it, but obviously you won't really see the white part of the spokes on that tire or alloy. So with the black piece, I've just gone in with my Tim Holtz scissors, these ones, and I've basically snipped all the black spokes off, going all the way around, and I've just neatened up with my nail, I've just neatened it. And then for the windows, then I've cut 4 of the windows out with the shutters. I've put my curtains in on 3 of those, but I'll show you how to make one of the windows. And then you've got the awning, and what I've done is stuck the tab of the awning onto the back of the window, just to kind of make it a little bit easier and give us a bit more space at the front. So I've cut 8 of these rectangle windows out, and on 4 of them I've cut the shutter into it and then used the white one to back my curtain onto, and then place my shutter window on top. So hopefully that all makes sense. We're also going to put a flower box together, and this is what I mean about the window box. It's so adorable, and it's got a tiny little love heart. So, and I've used, and I'll go through what cardstock I've used as well. So I've created 4. I'm going to have a window at the front, 1 at the back, and 1 at either side of my caravan. I've also cut out a plant, and I've just basically cut out some of the flowers and stuck them on and put some Nuvo drops in. And I'm using the Nuvo drop that came in one of the kits, and it is called Sprig of Mistletoe, which is a really nice green, but you can use, obviously Tonic have posted today on the Facebook page, because it is April Fool's, the olive Nuvo drop, which is a very popular drop, so you could use a colour like that if you wanted. So we'll put a window box together. I've cut out 4 of these little lights. You can back it if you want to, but I'm not backing it on this occasion, so I've cut 4 of those out. I've cut the door out, and it does give you an indentation mark of the wreath. So what I've done for this one is I've cut a wreath out, and I've stuck 5 flowers going all the way around, put some Nuvo drops on in the middle, and then I've put a gold bow on the top, because I think that just looks really pretty and very summery. And last but not least, I've cut out some bunting. So I've cut out 4 of the buntings, which I'm just going to kind of hang around my caravan. So let's move all this out of the way, and let's construct the main box for this. So what we're going to do is, if I bring in all the bits that I need, so let's just bring those bits in. What we need to do is fold all these tabs here, like so, and then make sure you give them a really good burnish, because these are straight lines and you want your box to be nice and level for the top to fit on nicely. So that's what we're going to start with first. I'm also at this point going to take my decorative panel and I'm going to place that in the middle just to make my life easy. So let's just add some glue. So I am using Nuvo Deluxe. I'm still not at the end of this bottle just yet. But again, I do like to be frugal with my glue. Nuvo all the way. So I'm just going to place that, leaving a nice even border all the way around. So let's just stick that down. I'm then going to bring in these two side panels that I've got. And with the decoration pieces, I'm decorating my box on the inside and the outside. So in total, you will need 4 of these panels, and you will need 4 of these panels if you're doing the same. You don't have to decorate the inside and the outside, but I think it just covers up your workings, your tabs and things like that. So that's the plan. So I'm just going ahead and folding all my score lines. I'm then going to give that a good burnish. So the cardstock that I'm using for this project is 250 GSM white card. I'm using patterned paper, which is 180 GSM. And the different colours of Craft Perfect that I'm using is ballet pink for the window boxes and the curtains. I'm using fuchsia pink for my buntings and my flower. And I'm using jet black for my wheels. And I'm using harvest gold for my decoration, if you like, and the spokes on my wheels, and the decoration that goes on the awning, as well as my lamppost, or lamps, outside lights, shall I say. So what we're going to do is apply glue to this tab. I've got too much on there. Let's just spread that out. And we're just going to stick that down, just making sure that it's nice and level either side. And then just press that together. And then for this bit, what I'm going to do is start attaching all these panels onto the inside of here, like so. So my tabs are going to be on the inside, and then I'm just going to cover up all my panels on the inside with the pattern paper. So I'm just going to apply some glue. And I am just going to stick that down. Just want to make sure it's all level. There we go. Once that first one is on, just makes life easier, doesn't it, to go all the way around. So I'm just going to apply glue here to this tab. The thing is, these caravans, I mean, obviously it's called Vintage Voyage Van die set, but this is the exact caravan that I had in mind 2 years ago when I posted a picture of a baker's van, and I asked if Tonic would consider making one of these. I'm not saying they made it because of me, because I'm sure that's not the case, but I'm just really pleased that they have. So now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to add my decoration or my patterned papers on. So if I start on this side, leaving a nice border around the edge here. Okay, so that's all now glued. The inside and the outside has been decorated. What I'm now going to do is bring in, let's do this one first. We're going to bring in this panel here, and we're just going to go ahead and attach all these tabs all the way around this panel here. So we're going to start at this end, and we're just basically going to work our way all the way around, and then we'll stick our patterned paper on. So I'm just going to go ahead, and as you've seen me do many times with semicircle tabs, I'm just going to go ahead and apply glue to all these tabs here. And I'm just going to stick them all down. I'm doing it in one go because this should be quite straightforward. So I'm just taking this piece here. I'm starting at one end, so I'm just going to make sure I secure that first tab, make sure that sticks really well. Let's just move these things out of the way because it's causing a bit of a shadow. And then I'm just going to basically go round sticking all these tabs down. Like so. So you should have something. Let's just make sure we press those ones down too. Might just need a bit of glue on this one here. Okay, so we're going to do exactly the same thing on Oh, my mum is calling me. Okay, so we're going to do exactly the same thing. So I'm just going to speed this bit up, and we're just going to apply glue to all these tabs, and we're going to stick this panel down. Okay, so now you should have something that looks like this on both sides. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place my patterned paper on top. Just need to make sure that it's all nicely aligned around that wheel. And I'm just going to stick all that down. I'm going to do the same on this side. So that's my Caravan lid. Just make sure all of that is glued nicely down. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place this piece from one end to the other. So I'm just going to apply some glue. So I'm going to start at this end here. Just make sure it's all nice and level at this end, which it is. And then just going to work my way round to this end. Okay, so that's all now glued. What we need to do is place this box. We need to place this box inside here, and it does fit. We're going to place that inside here like so, and it is a nice fit. And then we're going to apply and stick down our wheels. So let's get that done now. So I'm going to apply glue to half of this wheel here. So let's stick that onto there. Just hold it for a second as well, so you know it's grabbed. Okay, so that's one side, and then we're going to do the exact same on this side. Just going to quickly push that back in as to where it needs to go. We're going to do exactly the same on this side. So again, just going to apply glue to half the wheel like so, and then I'm going to stick that on to here. I'm just going to let that set for a second. I'm just going to take the lid off. I'm going to press that and make sure, just roll some of this glue off my thumbs. Okay, so I'm going to press that side and then press down this side. So at this point, what would be a good idea is if you bring in this piece here, fold all these score lines and give that a quick burnish. And then we're going to fold these two tabs on either side. And we're basically going to fold it in on itself. Just going to apply some glue onto here. Just going to fold it in on itself like so, and then press that down. Then going to open it back up again. Going to put a dot of glue on this side and fold this flap over like so. And I'm going to do the same on this side. And fold that over. I'm just going to hold that for a second while that glue sticks and adheres. And then I'm just going to apply some glue onto the end of one of these, and I'm just going to place that in the middle, just there. And I'm going to let that sit and dry, and then we're going to work on the decoration side of it. So I'm just going to put this to one side while we work on decorating the rest. So the next part what I want to show you is the window. So as I've mentioned, you need this rectangle here, and then you need another one to cut the shutters into it. So for the one that's got the shutters, there are score lines on either side. So just fold those back on itself, on both of those. Now my shutters are going to be wide open, so I'm just folding that back. You can use your precision tool if you want to. I'm going to bring in my two curtains, and for this I need my tweezers. So I'm just going to apply a dot of glue to my curtain, and then I'm just going to place that, just leaving a nice even border, because the shutter part of the window is going to cover that anyway, so you won't really see that edge. So I'm just going to apply glue onto this piece here, and then do exactly the same thing on this side, like so. Perfect. And then I'm going to take the glue, and I'm just going to apply some around the aperture here, and we're going to stick this down onto our white piece here. Just make sure it's nice and level, and then just press that down. Like so. Now with the awning, you've got score lines, so give this one a good burnish and just give this one a gentle fold. I'm going to take my decorative element here and I'm going to glue that on top. So I'm just going to stick that onto here, leaving a nice even border all the way around. Press that down. I'm then going to apply, open this up, and I'm just going to apply glue onto the inside of here. And then I'm going to make sure my curtains are the right way up, and I'm just going to stick that down onto there. Just hides your workings really, then you won't see it, because you know, the patterned paper I'm using is so pretty. I don't want there to be glue tabs showing and things, so that's the reason why I've done it like this. Okay, so that's now done. I'm going to let that one dry for a second. I'm going to move on and quickly do the window box, because majority of the windows are now done. So for the window box, you will need 2 of these pieces here, and you will also need 2 of these pieces, 2 of those. So there are tabs on either side of these window boxes. What I'm going to do is apply dots of glue. I've cut out some small pieces of fuchsia pink card, and I'm just applying glue, and I'm just going to place that over the top of my love heart. Now, although you're only going to see flowers at both sides, I don't really need to do the back of that, but that's what I did for the others anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and do exactly the same thing on this side too. So again, I'm just going to place that on top like so. I'm going to go ahead and fold where those score lines are on both sides. And I'm going to take my precision tool and I'm just going to give that a good burnish on both sides. I'm going to do the same with this one. Give that a good burnish. Now if we start with this side, I'm going to apply glue to this tab here. I'm going to take one of these end panels and I'm going to place that onto there like so. Stick that one down. I'm then going to take this panel, apply glue to this tab, and just stick that side on. It's the little elements that really make projects like this really fun to do. And you know, like, this is one I will definitely keep. I'm not giving this one to anybody because I really like this one. So I'm going to take another end panel here and I'm going to stick that one down. I apologize for the shadows. It is the evening. In fact, it is 6:45. So, and then the last one is just that one there. So with this last one, I'm just going to take my tweezer. I'm going to hold that one in place. There we go. So now that that is done, I'm going to bring in some of this foliage that I've got. So I've cut out 3 bits of foliage for each window box. And I'm just going to apply glue to the bottom of these bits of foliage, and I'm just going to stick them on the inside of my box. Just take another one. Bit more foliage. And then the last piece, I'm just going to stick that on the inside there, like so. So then you've got your foliage like that. I've then got these tiny little flowers. So again, I'm just going to take, I've got so much glue on my fingers, bear with. Okay, so I'm just going to apply a little bit of glue onto those. And I'm going to stick these flowers down. Got 2 more to add. And then one last flower. Stick that on the end there, like so. Okay, so now that we've got that done, we need to, hopefully that's dry. It is. So we are going to put this back on, like so, and that should slot nicely back in, like that. I think I want my front to be this part here. That can be the back. So I'll do that as my front. I'm going to take one of my windows. I'm going to apply glue to the back. Like so. And I think I'm going to stick it right above that wheel there, like so. Going to get my window box. And I think I'm going to stick that onto there, like that. That just needs to be a bit more straight. There we go, like that. I'm going to do the same on the other side, but before I do the other side, I'm just going to glue my door on, I think. So I want my door to be just there, like that. Don't want it to cover up the flower completely, because I wanted my plant, or maybe not. I might put the plant on the other side actually. Okay, so we've got that, and then obviously my wreath. I'm going to just apply dots of glue to my wreath, and we're going to put that on there like that. Isn't that pretty? It's so cute. Okay, and then so that's the front. We need to also take some of these little lights. I want one to go there, like so. And then I think I'm going to have another one on this side. So let's do that. And that's even. And then we're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So hopefully trying not to squash anything. And then we've got two more lights here, but I think what I'm going to do is put my bunting on this side first, because the bunting on this side is going to be a little bit lower. We're not entirely done yet because we've still got to put the wheel arch on actually. Forgot about that. So let's stick that onto there. That's one. Let's take another one. Stick the bunting on there on that side, and then I'm going to take my lights and just stick that one onto there. One on that side. And take another one. And stick that onto that side there like that. Going to take my plant pot here. We're going to stick this. I think I'm going to stick it there, like so. Right, let's do our wheel arch. I'm going to take our wheel arch, and we are going to place that on there like so. That's one side. Quickly do that side. I'm not taking the glue all the way to the edge, by the way, just doing it. Because it's going to be hanging off, so. And then we've got that one stuck down as well. Last couple of bits then left to do. I'm going to put some bunting. What I haven't done on this is put a little a sentiment, but I'm not going to worry too much about that now. I can add that on later to say like happy summer or something. So I'm going to put this, stick that. I can cut a bit off if I need to. I think I'm going to have one there like that, and then I'm going to trim one end off. Yep, and then I'm going to do the same on this side. And then we'll trim that end one off. Oh. There we go. That looks better. And then all I need to do now is add my windows to either side. So let's do that now. And there you have it, my finished. Just move all of this stuff out of the way. I can come back and I'll share in the pictures once I've done the sentiment and stuck it on. But that basically finishes off. That finishes off my caravan. So I'm just going to quickly show you around. So you've got your windows on both sides with your awnings. You've got your window box at the front. You've got your shutters. You've got your wheel. You've got your door, your little wreath, your little lights on both sides. One there, one there. Let's press that one down a bit more. There we go. Got my bunting, got my little plant pot. And the way you open it is basically you hold the wheels and you just open it, and there's your box. So hopefully this video will help you. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Honestly, it's been absolutely amazing. All the support over March Madness. I've thoroughly enjoyed making all the die sets up. That fabulous handbag, oh gosh, the Fabulous Fabrics handbag, it was absolutely amazing. So again, I just want to obviously just say thank you so much for all your kindness and your support. I will put the links in the description below, and I do use affiliate links. It doesn't cost you anything to use those links. It just means Tonic give me a very small commission for sharing my inspiration and makes. So please do give this video a like, subscribe to my channel. Again, 59% of the viewers are not subscribed to my channel, and I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. There isn't any monthly subscription, even though it says subscribe. It is free to subscribe onto YouTube. And all that is left for me to say is thank you again so much, and hopefully I will catch you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.